What's good, y'all? Noir here, Sixth Element of Hip Hop. We got another one, another hero down, man. This is crazy, bro. Like, I can't believe that I'm making another video about another legend, another hip hop legend gone too soon. Like, it's kind of crazy. Shock G is everybody. I was gonna make a Black Rob tribute, not a video, just letting people know that Black Rob passed away too. By the time I was getting ready to put it out, Shock G passed. So I don't know, man. This is kind of wild, but I guess they say it come in threes. How appropriate. Yeah, Shock G, man. A lot of people. So if you don't know who Shock G is, you probably know who Humpty Hump was. Remember the Humpty dance? Is your chance to do the hump, right? That's Shock G. Shock G was Humpty, and so much more. And a lot of these tributes that you hearing right now, a lot of the talk that we hearing about Shock G, it's all about Tupac, Shock G, Tupac, Shock G, Tupac, Shock G. And it's sad because that man was so much more than the guy that brought us Tupac. You know what I mean? Tupac was gonna come out regardless. Not taking nothing away from what Shock G did for Pac, because he definitely hooked him up with beats like I Get Around, and like he was instrumental in putting him on. Gave him his first song, his first track with same song, his first verse. And we don't hear enough about what Shock G did, man. Who Shock G was. Okay, producer and frontman of the 1990s hip hop group Digital Underground. If you don't know who Digital Underground is by the name, they made Humpty Hump, the Humpty dance. Like, if you don't know about Sex Packets, or you might know Same Song from that movie with Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, it was dope. I liked it. Anything with hip hop history is dope to me. His real name was Gregory Jacobs. All right, he was only 57 years old. I'm 41. 57 is not old. Like, people should not be dying at 57, and we don't know how he died yet. No cause of death. We got the statement which says, our son, brother, and friend Gregory Jacobs, also known as Shock G, suddenly passed away today. His family wrote in the statement. The cause of death is currently unknown. We truly appreciate all the outpouring of love and concern. Please keep us in your prayers at this very difficult time. He died in Tampa. I didn't know this. I knew he was born in Brooklyn, and he was an LA group, Digital Underground, but I didn't know he's from Tampa, Florida. That's significant to me because I'm from St. Petersburg, Florida, and if you have anything, if you know it all about the geography of Florida, Tampa and St. Pete share Tampa Bay. So, Tampa is 15 minutes from where I lived. So it's crazy to me that he's not only from Tampa, but was in Tampa a lot and passed away in a hotel in Tampa, Florida. He definitely left his mark though on hip hop. Besides the Humpty dance, the Digital Underground were the leaders of the Bay Area hip hop scene of the late 80s and early 90s. But their catalog also marked the recorded debut of Tupac, who was briefly a member of the group before the release of his 1991 solo album. He's featured on Same Song from the This Is an EP release. EP. But not to talk about Tupac again, because that takes away from Shock G in my opinion. And he was an acolyte of like funk and early hip hop. He was heavy into George Clinton and Parliament, and you can definitely tell in their music, if you listen to it, majorly inspired by the funk. But yeah, man, he moved out west to Oakland, got with Chopmaster J, Kenny K, Money B, and made Digital Underground. The group broke through in 1989 with Do What You Like and the Humpty Dance. In the video of Humpty Dance, y'all probably remember he had the Groucho Marx face, glasses and nose and fake mustache, but that was like his alter ego. So he would sing as Humpty and Shock G. Personally, I didn't even know Shock G was Humpty until the movie Nothing But Trouble with Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd, because in the movie they have the band and they're singing and you see Humpty and you see Shock G, but one of them is always facing away from the camera. They do this number. And so I picked up right then. I'm like, okay, because everyone kind of knew, but they was kind of like, is it? Maybe it's his brother. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, that's what locked it for me when I seen the movie. Cult classic movie. Again, it wasn't great, but it had its moments. But so they busted onto the scene, man. Digital Underground, and they They had the 1990s concept album Sex Packets, which was very much of a piece with De La Soul's 3 Feet High and Rising, and the Beastie Boys' Paul's Boutique from the previous year. All three of those albums were very much obscured by the humor. You didn't really get to see how musically innovative and experimental and adventurous that they were. And largely on the strength of the 2 Humpty singles, Sex Packets went platinum, and its success saw the group make appearances on the Arsenio Hall Show, Drexel's Class, and of course the Chevy Chase Demi Moore comedy Nothing But Trouble. So they never really got the success that they had with Sex Packets again, but they did, solidify their place in hip-hop history, featuring the first appearance of Tupac, initially joining the group as a dancer and roadie. Though his time with the group was short, Pac would call on Shock G to produce and perform on tracks throughout his early solo career, including his first major hit, I Get Around. Remember Shock G, the one that put the satin on your panties, never knew a hooker that could share me. Yo, that verse was, Shock G was a cool cat. Like Humpty was a goofy thing, but Shock G was a smooth brother, man. They did drop an album in 2008. They dropped a few albums over the years, but like I said, they never really reached that sort of success that they had, with their debut joints and the Tupac stuff, which is why you're gonna hear a lot about Tupac when we hear about Shock G. I've already talked about Tupac profusely through this one. It's kind of hard not to. It's kind of hard to talk about Shock G without talking about Tupac. But he was a very prolific producer. He worked with Dre, Bobby Brown, the Loonies, Murs, toured with George Clinton heavily. But he was just an all-around good dude, man. And it's just a blow, man. Another blow to hip-hop, man. We've lost too many. We keep losing these heroes, man. These are our heroes, man. Like, we like comic books. This is hip-hop and comics. We got our superheroes and our hip-hop heroes. MCs from my generation were always very much like superheroes in a way, because you didn't have access to them like you do today. Like these kids got direct access to their MCs, if you can call them that, but they have no mystique. We only saw our MCs on stage or on an album cover insert or an interview, which usually rarely happened, or like a magazine article, a couple photo shoots, but you never talked to them, or you never heard them talk. You never saw inside their house. You never saw them in the car. Like, you never saw them in their life. But nowadays we see, our celebrities on Instagram and YouTube, and they kind of lost that superhero godlike status that they had. And I do kind of regret for like my son who's 16. They don't have that passion that we had for hip hop. Like the way my son broke it down to me one day, because I kept hitting him off with like, this is this one and this one and that one and Nas, and check this out, you gotta hear how he broke down this verse. And I'm like, what's going on with y'all, man? Like, he's like, Pop, look, you're into hip hop like you're into comics, or like I'm into video game history or whatever, but like I don't have that kind of passion for hip hop like that. And I think it has a lot to do with the way that the MCs or rappers or musicians today are very much on their level. It's like, that's why you see these rappers getting robbed and shot at, like, because these kids, like, they don't see them as nothing no different from me. Like, I see you I'm on IG too. I got a YouTube channel too. I'm here. Like, you just got more money than me. But for us, they was on a different echelon, a different status. Like, yeah, they were rich, but it wasn't just that. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, man, Shock G, he kind of really embodied that, because he had that Humpty Hump persona, and it was like very mysterious. It was to the point like that we didn't know Shock G and Humpty Hump were the same person. Couldn't get away with that today, man, with so, but yeah, man, the cause of death is currently unknown. It's crazy. I don't think we really know what happened to DMX either. I don't believe that he overdosed on cocaine. You don't overdose on cocaine. Like, yeah, he had heart attacks and all of that, but they're making it sound like he just did a bunch of drugs and OD'd. Well, it don't really work like that. He died of whatever causes, but don't say that man OD. But yeah, Black Rob, we don't know much about Black Rob, what that was really about. We saw him sick. We saw him, saying words for DMX and looking real unhealthy in the hospital. We didn't really know why. Then the next thing we know, he's dead. Now Shock G. I just hope it does come in threes, man, I really won't be able to stand losing another hero right now, man. It's really devastating. But I hope everybody learns about Shock G and does research and listens to his music and finds out really who he was and what he was all about, because the dude was prolific, man. He really was deep behind a lot of stuff that you don't even probably know about. So yeah, man, check out Shock G, man. Look into it. Salute. Prayers go out to the family and friends of Shock G. Yo, Sixth Element of Hip Hop, Reno Noir. Peace.